What if one of the deadliest predators in history never disappeared? Imagine walking through a swamp at night, hearing a splash behind you, and realizing that lurking in the water is a snake longer than a bus, with jaws powerful enough to crush a crocodile in seconds. This isn't a movie monster, it's the Titanoboa, the largest snake to ever exist. But what if this prehistoric titan never went extinct? What if it kept evolving, adapting, and thriving in today's world? Let's find out. The Titanoboa ruled the Earth about 58 to 60 million years ago, during the Paleocene epoch. At that time, dinosaurs had just gone extinct, leaving a world full of new opportunities for reptiles and mammals. And Titanoboa took full advantage. Growing up to 15 meters long and weighing over 1,100 kilograms, 2,500 pounds, it was larger than any snake alive today. By comparison, the largest living snake, the green anaconda, rarely exceeds 6 to 7 meters in length. Titanoboa was more than twice as long and many times heavier. It wasn't just size that made it terrifying. Titanoboa lived in hot, swampy environments in what is now Colombia, where it dominated rivers and wetlands. Its size allowed it to ambush giant fish, crocodile-like reptiles, and even primitive mammals. This was the ultimate snake. So why don't we see Titanoboas slithering through jungles today? The answer lies in climate change. Titanoboa thrived in a much hotter world. Global temperatures were around 32 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, on average, hotter than today. Snakes are cold-blooded, meaning they rely on the environment to regulate their body heat. Bigger snakes need warmer climates to survive, and Titanoboa was no exception. As the planet gradually cooled, Titanoboa simply couldn't survive. It disappeared, leaving behind fossils to remind us of its terrifying existence. But let's change history. Imagine Titanoboa never went extinct. Imagine it kept evolving over millions of years while Earth's environment changed. What would that look like? For starters, Titanoboa would need to adapt to cooler climates. That means evolving better heat regulation, maybe even partial warm-blooded traits, like some modern fish and reptiles that can maintain higher body temperatures. Over time, Titanoboas might spread beyond tropical wetlands. They could slither into temperate zones, rivers, forests, and maybe even coastal seas. Their diet would expand too, not just fish and reptiles, but larger mammals. Now, imagine a snake that evolved alongside humanity. If Titanoboa had survived into modern times, it would be one of Earth's apex predators. Crocodiles, big cats, and sharks would have competition. Picture a world where South America's Amazon rainforest isn't ruled by jaguars and anacondas, but by super snakes longer than school buses. Local legends of giant snakes, like the Yakumama of the Amazon, might not just be myths. Humans exploring these regions would have had to battle with Titanoboas for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations might have worshipped or feared them as gods, building myths around them, the way Egyptians revered crocodiles or Indians revered cobras. Here's where it gets really wild. If Titanoboa kept evolving, could it grow even bigger? Theoretically, yes, but only to a point. The size of snakes is limited by their ability to breathe, hunt, and move. Gravity, metabolism, and oxygen levels all put limits on growth. Still, in certain conditions, like dense jungles and massive prey populations, Titanoboas might evolve into even larger versions, maybe reaching 20 meters, 65 feet, or more. That would make them as long as a Boeing 737's wingspan. Imagine swimming in the Amazon and seeing a dark-shaped coil beneath you, a snake longer than 3 cars put together. How would an evolved Titanoboa hunt? Like modern constrictors, it wouldn't waste energy chasing prey. Instead, it would ambush. Hidden in murky water or dense vegetation, it would strike suddenly, wrapping its massive body around its victim. Unlike venomous snakes, Titanoboa relied on crushing force. Its coils could exert pressures of over 400 pounds per square inch, enough to stop blood flow and crush bones. Scientists believe a Titanoboa could easily kill something the size of a cow, or even bigger animals. If it lived today, cattle ranchers, deer, and even humans could fall victim. Now, let's bring it closer to home. What would it mean for us if Titanoboa still roamed Earth? Early humans would have faced an almost supernatural predator. Our ancestors might have been hunted in swamps and jungles, forcing humans to evolve defensive tools faster. Spears, fire, and group hunting may have developed partly in response to dealing with such threats. In the modern era, Titanoboas would clash with human expansion. Deforestation, farming, and cities would bring humans and snakes into conflict. Just like we deal with crocodile attacks in Africa or tiger attacks in Asia, people might regularly report Titanoboa encounters. Imagine viral news stories. 50-foot snake caught in Amazon village, or Titanoboa spotted near river, authorities warn swimmers. If Titanoboas existed today, ecosystems would look very different. In the Amazon, they'd outcompete jaguars and crocodiles, dominating rivers and swamps. In Africa, they might prey on hippos or even elephants if they spread far enough. In Asia, they could compete with tigers for food sources. Entire food chains would shift, with Titanoboas at the very top. Humans might even try to hunt them for safety, leading to a war between mankind and serpent. Here's the question: could modern humans control or coexist with Titanoboas? On one hand, technology would give us an advantage. Guns, traps, and drones could track and eliminate them. But on the other hand, Titanoboas are stealthy, ambush predators. Unlike lions or tigers, they could remain hidden underwater for hours. Zoos and circuses might try to capture them, but imagine the risks of transporting a 50-foot, multi-ton snake. Scientists would study them obsessively, and thrill seekers might pay fortunes just to see one in the wild. But make no mistake, these creatures would remain deadly. So, what if Titanoboa never stopped evolving? We'd live in a world where jungles and swamps hide one of the most fearsome predators to ever exist. A world where myths of giant snakes weren't just stories, they were reality. Humans would adapt, of course, but every river crossing or jungle trek would carry the risk of facing a predator larger than life. The Titanoboa may be gone, but imagining it still slithering somewhere out there reminds us of how wild, dangerous, and unpredictable evolution can be. So the next time you see a snake and feel a shiver down your spine, just be glad it's only a few meters long. Because if Titanoboa had never gone extinct, our world might belong to the snakes, not to us. If you enjoyed this terrifying What If journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to What Ifverse, where we explore the scariest, strangest, and most fascinating alternate realities of our universe.